Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. Let me say Shabbat.
Sound is good. Okay.
All right, perfect.
All right. Thank you. They hear us all the way in California.
No way.
Isn't that where Lee and Pam Stoll live, California? We're yelling really loud.
Right, so everyone can hear us. But hi, everyone.
And Sue from Raleigh, North Carolina.
So
All
good
right.
to see everybody. We can't wait to hear what's on your mind and how your week has been.
Washington State. I'm sorry.
Washington
Just
State.
as far. Hello.
It's still just as far.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
are we ready to light the candles?
Yeah, I
everybody?
got it set up there, hon.
Okay, here we go. Baruch atah Yehovah Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu ladlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
We've welcomed her into our house a little bit early, but not too much.
So what do you think of these flowers I got? I thought they were very happy flowers. They're like some daisies and everything, because I don't know if you guys are like me, but when I get reading the news and hearing the news on social media and everything, I kind of get a little bit depressed.
Yeah.
But every Sabbath day, I turn that off and
That's because you believe everything.
Some flowers. I
That's
know.
because you believe everything you see on it.
I know, I do, and I get all worked up and everything. So this is our happy time, and we're so
Yeah.
good to see you.
We've been through a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
And as you know,
Everyone has. I think everyone
Yeah.
goes through these really bad trials and everything. And
Yeah.
Before Dave goes into it, I just want to say that a couple of people have suffered some losses this week, and they want to remain anonymous right now. So if you could keep them in your prayers, and I'm sure when they're ready, they'll want to come out and talk about it.
yeah, one of our communities lost a granddaughter today who is in her 30s, and so it's tough.
And another person, I don't think I even told Dave about, lost a friend, so I'll catch up on that later, but the anonymous for right now. So.
Okay, yeah. So there's always that.
Yes, yes.
Anyways, why don't we go to the first slide, Seth? Or if it's Ross, I don't know who's running the... there we go, because we always like to start out with remembering who the Creator is and who we serve. The one and the only. Hear, O Israel, Elohim our Elohim, Elohim is one. And you shall love Elohim your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul, very exceedingly. And these words, which I am commanding you today, shall be upon your heart and taught incisively to your children. And you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and as you walk along the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they will be as bands between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorframes of your homes, of your house, and your gates, because Elohim made a covenant with you in Horeb on the day of the assembly. Well, that's the, in one phrase, that's who our God is, and He's taught us differently, and He gave us some rules to follow. The 10 matters anyways, and He's the power of all powers, the Elohim of all Elohim, and so that's who we worship. And so I think we just went live now, maybe a little late on that.
Oh, no, you're for real?
Well, no, I think the people in Discord heard us, but
Oh, okay.
I don't know, maybe it's not. So next slide, which one of the oddball differences with this faith of ours is the Sabbath day. It's a beautiful difference, but I'm just saying you don't find this in other religions. Sanctify the seventh day, and you shall cease on it, because in 6 days I made the heavens and the earth, and all that is in them, and I ceased on the seventh day. Therefore you shall also cease, you and your animal, and all that is yours. I am Elohim, your Elohim. So this is the Sabbath, and I can I imagine I want to hear from some of you all today. I can imagine we're excited to have the Sabbath. We've been working hard all week, and I know Ross has, and Seth creating the new facility down there in St. Francisville, or what is it? It's somewhere. I forget the name.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Or is it just Jackson?
Jackson, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ross knows. And so that is the thing. Jackson.
Thank you.
And like Libby says, Shabbat is a reminder and resets our focus on those things to encourage. Amen and absolutely. Here's an odd fact, the next slide. Again, this is according to Jewish history, but just take it as you will. The birth and passing of Judah, that's why we call people Jews today. Judah, the fourth son of Jacob and Leah, was born in Charan on the 15th of Sivan on the year 2196 from the creation, 1565 BCE, and he passed away on the same date, 119 years later, in Egypt. It's not provable, but it's a belief.
But I love looking at these dates in Jewish history and on this day and stuff like that. And this one came up today, and I just thought it'd be so cool.
It would be so cool, and so since last week, things kind of got off. I guess sometimes I get a little too spiritual and look. You know, when I'm writing my book, I think deeply about things, and I think people misunderstood what I was trying to say. But so I'm going to go light this week. Why don't you go with the next slide, Ross?
He's going to repent.
It's just, what do you guys? What's going on? What's going on? It's your week. You know.
We want to talk.
We want you to talk about what happened to you
this week.
You all this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what they say way down yonder. It's a contraction.
Right.
You all is y'all apparently.
Right. But here in New York, they say
joke,
use.
Of course. Use. Yeah, that's the plural up here.
I know.
That's the New York plural.
Cody might have heard that one.
Use peoples.
Use guys.
I was called, Patty and I were, the guy was yelling at us and he said, use two Christians.
Yes,
and we weren't Christians.
Right. We've been yelled at before.
We've been yelled at
we
before.
don't want to go about that.
But if anyone wants to raise their hand, I want to get more involvement from y'all, because last time I guess I tried to be Ross Jr. last week, and not in a good way. So I'm kind of straightening out my and remember that it's a light thing. It's the Sabbath, and we're here. We just Clody says, I assume 60% of the spoken English.
Well, we just want to hear what's going on with you.
Yeah.
How was your week? What's on your mind? What have you been thinking about? And stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
we
feel free
have
to
the old
speak up.
kitty, Sheba, because she has 7. She's a polydactyl.
Yeah.
Sheba says hi. We found her on the side of the road and years ago, and it's a long story, but it's a beautiful one.
Yes.
You know, she's a beautiful cat.
She's old, but she's good.
She's old and but she's good. So no one wants to raise their hand. That's okay, but please, I know that people like Sue and Eric, Nikita likes to talk, Julia.
Well, I'll start it off a little bit better.
Okay.
I'm hoping I look a little bit better than I did last week. I was still suffering from jet lag, and it was okay going there to Israel, but on the way back, I've been still kind of going to bed at 8 o'clock at night and getting up at 5 in the morning. And so I had a joke that I kind of looked at. We looked like Weekend at Bernie's last week, and
Yeah.
but I think we're all getting back on schedule here.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're getting back on schedule, and we're always trying to learn more. I was a little too busy this week to plug into Ross's debate discussion.
But I caught some of it, and it's really interesting about putting the 10 Commandments up in the schools and things like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a lot of different ways and angles you could discuss it. And it's a debate that's going to go on for a while, and I think Ross and Jonah are going to have a follow-up a discussion about this. Will this be on a Thursday night again next week, maybe? Or
I don't know. You'd have to ask Ross.
yeah, I'm sure he'll post it
Like
up
I say,
here.
I was kind of out of the loop this week due to obligations at work, and so therefore I'm glad to stop in Shabbat. You know.
Yes, definitely,
It's a good thing. Clody wants to speak.
Hey, Clody.
Hi, Clody.
Hi, Clody.
Shabbat shalom. I had a difficult week,
Yeah.
sensing a little bit of loneliness.
Oh.
Um, without the proper aim, because I'm, as you know, an immigrant. And I'm not yet understanding where I'm going to.
Ah, okay.
But then yesterday happened.
Okay.
And we had such a beautiful discussion after the YouTube transmission.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. It was like each and every one of us could understand what was going on in the other's mind.
Great.
And I was thinking that perhaps even through not being all the time on the same page, there is a way with truth and rightfulness that makes things common.
Ah, okay.
And it was a beautiful question that Charles did. And he asked what is the norm? Because I was talking in a moment about normal and not normal people.
Dave said echo.
And the answer was so simple. The norm is getting to keep the 10 words.
Mm.
So I felt a little bit not so lonely, but in a group of like-minded people that their aim is to walk with God. And that's beautiful.
Oh, that is really beautiful.
Yeah.
Shabbat
shalom.
Yeah, it is tough. It is tough. Even where we're at. Okay, Seth is saying I got some. Let me just check my sound settings.
Good echo here.
Well,
But those are good points, Clody, and it's going to be like, I think it's going to be the start of a big, huge debate. More people are going to want to do it, and then other people will be against it, and it's just going to be, but it's a good thing. We're talking about the 10 Commandments. It's a topic again. So that can't be bad. I think Dave has got the buttons here.
yeah, just give me a second. If I could. Seth, the echo cancellation is no longer a choice for me. I wonder what happened. Let me just see here. I got the input sensitivity on. Yeah, and I might have to talk to Seth just for 1 second. Let me see here. Let me get that out of there. Just 1 second there.
Seems to change every time, but
no, it doesn't.
but it seems to, like,
yeah.
you know.
Well, when you sing, I take the echo off.
Right.
And echo. It's typing to Seth. Echo is.
Yeah, thank you, Seth, for being here every Friday night to help us. We really appreciate it.
All right. So let me just have Seth talk me through this. Just give me a minute. Let me see. There's voice and video, and usually there's an echo cancellation. It's usually down in here, and it's gone. It's bizarre.
Is it under another tab on the left? Is it under a different?
No, it's been here every time, unless they just moved it. I just turned it off. I just turned it off before you sang. All right.
Is it any better?
The echo's gone. You're good.
Awesome. Echo's gone.
Okay. Is the echo gone? That's cool. I just want to make sure it's gone. Yeah, I turned it off when I. How's the echo? Seth is typing. He's psychedelic today. Echo's gone until the guest speaks. So, yes, he's okay. Eric, we're going to bring you up there. All right. Now I should be able to see the echo thing he's saying. Voice and echo.
Testing. One, two. It's back.
Hey.
It's back.
The echo's back? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to the this is what happens when you don't have production in the you just have your computer. All right. Let's just see what's going on down here. It's still not here.
Maybe they moved that option to something different.
Like 5 minutes ago, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, you already saw it?
I turned it on there for you.
Okay. I get you. Okay.
Yeah, let me just see. Seth, do you think maybe I just need to log out and log back in or what? There's nothing with the echo. It's always down right here.
Can you hit just refresh and not log out?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, maybe I'll just I'll probably just log out and log right back in.
Don't go away, everyone.
Don't go away. It's still going to be running. Thank you. I want to quit everything.
Can anybody hear me without echo now? So it is them. They're the problem.
On the stage.
Whoops. Don't talk about them.
How is that? Is it better?
No.
Still there. Let me try it again with voice and video. Mm-hmm.
Is it the YouTube?
Hey, you don't have YouTube up, do you?
Let me see. No, I don't think so. How's that?
Testing.
Any better?
No.
Let me see what they're saying.
Oh, Charles just said no echo. But it's only when somebody talks, right?
Yeah. Let me see. I have no YouTube on, and I have. Let me see. I have. I don't understand why I don't see the still echoing. I don't understand why I don't see the echo choice for me, Seth. Let me see. It's usually under voice and video. Okay, just give me one other thing. Let me see. And
is it a drop-down thing? You have to click on something?
I've got it under advanced.
What do you have it under?
Advanced.
Okay.
And then go down further.
Yeah, my account advanced. Let me see. Server. It usually is under voice and video, isn't it, Seth?
Yep. Yep. Voice and video. Yes. Down about half.
Yeah. Yeah. Advanced. It's under there and it's no longer under mine. I don't understand this.
Is there something else that has to be clicked, like that yes button?
No. I'm just looking. I'm sorry. I'm going to hit reset.
Yeah, I see that reset button at the bottom.
There we go. Is that better?
I didn't hear it that time.
Yeah. It showed up all of a sudden when I logged back in. Ross is calling me.
Okay.
Hey, Ross. It's good now.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Sorry about that.
Thanks for what you want to say.
Yeah. Well, Eric, I'm sorry that it took so long.
Just wanted to test it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So what happens is we take the echo thing off when Patty's singing. Then I go back and turn it back on. And
You turn it on when I'm singing.
no,
Oh,
I do not. I
Oh.
take it off so that it captures your voice better.
okay.
And that is an echo like you're thinking of echo. It's the
Oh.
echo that, so then I go back to turn it on and the choice is gone. That's never happened before. Anyways, so Eric, hit us and let us forget this disaster.
It's not a disaster. It's just
Well,
life.
It's been an interesting week for me. Several reasons, and it sounded like maybe some of your alls too. The let's see, how did I put it? Telling somebody, I kind of woke up to reality in my financial situation,
Oh, okay.
and because of several different things I don't need to go into, I
Sure.
realized the bucket that I have to live off of more comfortably than not is very limited. And I knew it was, but I several things conspired, if you will, to do that. So I've decided, well, I've got to change my lifestyle somewhat. And Christy is warning me about how I first presented it to her, in that I would become more isolated and not be able to visit or go around where I wanted to when I wanted to, because I was going to change from driving a car to just having an electric 3-wheel bicycle.
Oh,
And looking at that and pondering it for a while, not really sleeping well one night, all of a sudden I get a call from a good friend of mine, and I'd mentioned it to him a couple of days before. He said, I don't feel right about that, so I'm going to give you my other car.
oh my God.
So you see, all you got to do is keep on smiling and thanking him for everything that's going on, and he's going to fix it.
Wow. So you're going to get rid of your car and take his.
Yeah, it's leased,
Oh,
and the way prices have gone,
yeah.
I would have to pay. Well, I could pay $30,000 to buy this car that I've been driving for a year and a half,
Wow.
and it just doesn't seem right when the salesman said, it's really only worth 12 to 14.
Oh my gosh.
But the and this is my very first lease, is also my last. I should have never done it. I should have not even bought the car before that. I should have kept the old one I had. Anyway, I had a wonderful time driving an electric vehicle, though. So I've had a great time for a year and a half. But this other car, I said, well, shoot, if I get that, and an electric bike, and I changed my lifestyle. So whenever it's nice in Louisiana, which is most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
I can go places on that, not buy gas so much, and save this 20-year-old car for trips that are really necessary,
Yeah.
and come out ahead. And, if something breaks around the house or I need to repair something, like the big one that is just hit me 2 weeks ago, is I need a new roof on this house.
Oh, damn.
So that's going to take a great deal of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I can cover that now because I don't have to worry about the rest of it. And
Wow.
I've already gotten one price from supposedly one of the highest roofers around, and I consider it a deal. So I'm going to talk to some other ones just to find out what can be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd much prefer a 2-room, 3-room little cabin in the woods here, but I have a 4-bedroom house, and as soon as I can, it's going to be 3 empty bedrooms in mine. That'll
Oh,
be it. So it's I might have another hideaway for folks in this group when you need to come to Louisiana and warm up or something.
and stay away from everybody. Yeah. Sometimes
Oh, yeah.
I'm on the run sometimes.
Well, I tell you what, you nobody would know you're here because you can't see the property from even my street.
Right.
And they can't even do the survey from the sky with the satellite to measure my roof. They had to come out and manually get up on the roof because of all the trees over it.
Wow.
So, and it's got a nice
Roughly,
salt pool.
where do you live roughly? I don't need to know exactly, but like near New Orleans or?
Well, I'm 2 hours east of Jackson and St.
Okay.
Francisville.
Oh, okay.
I'm 45 minutes from the airport in New Orleans,
Oh,
but you have to go across the longest single span bridge over water.
yeah.
It used to be in the world. I'm not sure if it still is or not.
Yeah.
But it's, I think, I'd say 45 minutes, 50 minutes to the French Quarter or anything in the city. Yeah.
Okay. All
And
right.
I'm like 10 minutes from I-12. So it's like easy to get anywhere, to go anywhere from
Yeah.
this. Yeah, it's a wonderful place.
Wow.
Well, Eric, have you thought about having maybe a roommate that could help share expenses?
I have pondered that, but right now those rooms are all full of stuff and I'm trying to sort through. I'm going to start having to post stuff to sell it. I've got a few people who are craft oriented who are coming to Bargain Basement buy stuff.
Mhm.
And I see Sherry said, sounds like Covington. Yes, I'm 10 minutes or 20 minutes from Covington, just to the west of us.
Mhm.
That's where I ride my bike. I think it's 6 miles. I ride my bike over there sometimes, but they're building a bridge and you got to go out in traffic right now, but it's not too bad.
Oh, good. That's great.
Well, I hope you figure this out, Eric, and
Yeah.
keep us posted on the situation because there's so many things you can do now to earn a little extra money and cut expenses and everything. And
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, this, like I'm saying, I can live on what I get as long as I don't want to talk about politicians. This is Shabbat, so
Right.
I'll try to not use that word anymore. As long as Social Security is paid, I'm fine. And I do have a goal of outliving my great aunt who made it to 105,
Wow.
but I somehow don't think I'm really serious about that.
Well, those are some good genes you got there, Eric.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think people just forget the miracle of having consciousness and having a soul and to be made alive. And, I think every day people forget just to thank God for that, the Almighty. He created you, and there must have been a reason. I mean, I feel there's always a reason, and on top of that, we tend not to be grateful a lot of times, or I don't want to say grateful. It's that we take everything as well. This is what I have, and this is what I get. But every day you should be thankful for the food you get, and the car, the shelter over your head. I'm grateful for all those things, and I think Shabbat is a time to reflect on that.
Definitely.
And thank the Almighty to, there's always someone that's going to have more than you, and there's always someone who's going to have less than you. And
I don't worry about that. That's one thing I have gotten over.
yeah.
I have so much here. I mean, our Father in heaven had me get a reverse mortgage all of a sudden. So I used what I had in my inheritance, got the reverse mortgage, lost my job 7 months later.
Oh, man.
I don't have a mortgage for the rest of my life, even if I lived to 106.
Wow.
How can you not be blessed?
That's a gift.
An acre and a third with a swimming pool and all the woods and animals and birds you could ever count right here.
Wow.
If I just had a bicycle or a walker, that's all I need.
Yeah.
It's all I need.
All right.
Okay, so Eric, Charles Sutton says, don't hire the high roofer. They're as dangerous as the drunk ones. So it sounds like Charles has been through some things with roofers.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Well, what's really cool is, being industry of maintenance and property management and stuff, and having a lot of friends who deal with real estate and things. I have a lot of contacts. I've been here 30 years, so I know names if I don't know the company. And this fellow that came over actually uses the title American Men Roofing.
Okay. Charles Sutton said he was guessing Slidell. Does that ring a bell?
Do what?
Charles Sutton said he was guessing Slidell or Slidell. Is it
No, Slidell is over on the Mississippi border. I'm dead center north of Lake Pontchartrain in Avita Springs, which I think
that was named.
Sherry came up with that. Yes.
Yeah.
Avita Springs.
How did you get over there, Eric? Just I'm curious. What in life led you to this place?
Well, I got relieved of a job 30-something years ago on an island where sometimes I was the only person.
Well,
ran the boat back and forth to Jekyll Island, Georgia.
Oh.
And I had done all the jobs that I wanted to do, from deckhand, TV, cable, repairman, installer, maintenance, all that stuff. And, the keeper of the island for a while.
Right.
So I moved to be near my brother. I thought, well, if I can't find another island, I might as well go to New Orleans.
Wow. You might as well go to New Orleans. Yeah.
Why not go to the big city, and I have a brother there. Well, fortunately, I didn't find a job in New Orleans. I ended up on the North Shore, so I've got a new home.
Wow. And how long have you been there?
Almost 34 years, 5 years, somewhere in there.
That's great.
Almost 30 years. Almost 30 years, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. People, work has a lot to do with for so much of it where we live.
Yeah.
Miriam says Jehovah has provided for 69 years for me.
Yeah.
What about the years before that, Miriam? I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
Now we're stirring it, aren't we? No, it was phenomenal for me because, as I think I told y'all, I didn't really get reborn until I was 48.
Yeah.
And I had been here almost 10 years at that point. And immediately I saw all the things that had happened for those 48, 50 years.
Wow.
It got me here.
Yeah.
Where I was to make these decisions and have these problems and catastrophes sometimes, like almost a shipwreck, and another one where the ship burned up in the middle of the Gulf.
Yeah.
With all of us on it. Well,
Wow.
Fortunately, there were only 3 of us. But anyway, I could see all that was for a big blessing of a purpose to get me right here, right now, so I could sit and talk to you guys.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to invite Ronnie Fulcher to speak.
Oh, I want to hear from Ronnie. Amen.
Yeah, Ronnie, how you doing, brother Ronnie? As I told you, Ronnie is a very special human being to us. When our son died, he drove all the way up from Mississippi to be here with us, and I'm just amazed at how much love there is in Ronnie. How you doing, brother?
Man, if I got any better, I'd be you.
No, I got the Russians after me right now. The State Department told me they got me. They caught me helping Ukraine. So, and they don't kill you by guns. They poison you. So my wife's bringing me a glass of wine. I got to make sure. I want her to taste it first.
I understood, buddy. I understood. There's no problem there. No, just, I'm gonna say as one that's probably up in the older class in this group, maybe.
Yeah.
But we can look back, Eric, you and I, and some more here. God's got us all the way through this stuff. And we look back, and a lot of times we worried about things like that, and then later on we go like, why do we worry?
Yeah.
Because God's got His hand in everything that's happened, And I've learned in life is don't worry about the stuff that you can't fix, because it's like if you ain't got a dog in the race, don't worry about who wins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes, and from the standpoint, I think, David, sometimes you are spiritual. I'm not being critical there at all.
No.
When you get on a roll, let it go.
Yeah.
Because you never know who you're reaching out to and who you're helping somebody by letting the Spirit flow through you.
No, I in writing this book, let me talk about one spiritual thing that happened to me this week. It stunned me. I'm going to put up a picture. A picture I just put in the chat. And when my son died, he had just bought a new car, a convertible Camaro. It was beautiful.
Right.
And we inherited it. And it needed to be cleaned up because it had been put away for a long time. And when I got there, a young man had made a sticker for the back window. It says, "In love and memory of Daniel Tyler," and then he was a drummer, and he put in the man, Dan the Man. That was his logo, or that was his call name or whatever. And this young man spoke about judging a book by its cover. I go there, and this guy's got a tattoo on his face, and he just looks like trouble, but I know he's a really good car detailer. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Hey, brother, listen, I don't care about cars. I'd have never bought this car. I'm just not that kind of person, but this was my son's, and he passed away at 34, and I inherited it." And I said, "Just do a good job, because it's something that we just didn't want to sell and get rid of right away."
Sure.
And the guy took 8 hours. It was 92 degrees up here and humid, which is very rare for upstate New York. And I got there, and his shirt was totally wet from sweat. He worked on it all day. And then he has this. He goes, "I hope you don't mind. I put this on the back window." And I almost started breaking down because, what can I say? And he's not a religious person, but he has love and he has a heart. And he didn't charge me for that. He just did it and said, it's an honor for me. And he said, I cleaned this car so that it was like when your son first bought it. He said, I'm going to make your son proud. And you don't meet people like this. He's probably 38 years old, his own garage stall you go by. And I heard he did good work. And he just has been such a loving guy. So for me,
And now we're friends.
we're going to be friends with this young man, and maybe I will be able to open up about the 10 matters and about the Almighty and all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm hoping to do. And like I said, you just God puts things before us, the Almighty. He puts things before us that everything, there's a reason, I believe, for everything, and we just don't see it, when we first run into a person.
Right.
We just sometimes it just sneaks by us, and this time it was just too loud. You know what I mean, Ronnie? This young telling us, we want to turn the lights on. It's getting dark. We're doing our own production up here. It's not like Jack and Rexella. Jack and Rexella, let me tell you, I did a study on them years ago. That guy could whip off Revelation 12:14b. None of them made any sense to me, but I'm just telling y'all. And I learned that in one of the years at his peak, there were 11 people doing the production. So he had 11 people like Seth. And maybe he had a guy like Ross throwing him this stuff. And Rexella was on. And they brought in $38 million with 12 people, 14 people. Did we just lose our power?
I don't think so.
The lights just went out. Okay. No, don't keep touching it. Don't keep touching it.
Is that good?
That's good. It's good. Just leave it.
It's a movie.
It's moving because you keep touching it.
The thing about that car, Ronnie, I wanted to tell you is that no one wanted to drive it and we didn't want to get rid of it. So it's been in Las Vegas with our son Jeremy. Yeah. And now it's here.
Well, it was in Huntsville, Alabama, where Danny lived. Danny had become a Southerner. Yeah, we lost him. He went south of that Mason-Dixon line, and he started saying y'all and
all that good stuff. But now that it's got this decal on the back, it's kind of like it's been blessed, and I think I can actually ride in it now.
It wasn't. We did not ask for it. This man did it out of his heart, and I think that's the power of the people that do things. And just because we're following the 10, and we, there are other great people. This is the other cat I wanted to show Eric. Oh, geez, she's heavy.
She's really
This one we call Peaches. We found her in a kennel. We bought her for my mother. She's a rescue, and she has her ear is clipped, not because of her being fixed, but because she used to she got into fights, and
oh my goodness.
She's a heavy girl too, man.
She's so fat that when we pick her up, she squeaks like.
And we try not to feed her, but she's
toy.
Yeah. Anyways, that's getting deep into our life here. Yeah. But anyways, the thing is, there's this. Yeshua said, right, and I'm not going to quote it because I haven't read the New Testament in so long. I'm going to quote it. It says something like, you have to be at least good as the Sadducees and Pharisees. What's
that's close.
It's something like that, right? Like, you think you're good?
Unless your righteousness exceeds
exactly
the Pharisees, you'll not enter.
Yeah.
Okay. She's coming back to me.
Matzo weighs 13 pounds. I think Peaches has got it.
She's got that.
I call her Rotten Peaches, but Patty.
That's not right. Oh my gosh.
No, and I think that living every day, one of the other things I wanted to mention that I'm trying to learn, because I got that Italian half of me, my mother's half, and it's emotional. Stoicism has a good lesson about how to conduct yourself. I don't mean it's not a religion, it's a philosophy, and there's some really good Stoic writers. But one of the things is to stay within yourself and not to allow you, don't argue and swear and lose your mind at people, and listen before you speak, which I can't do here, or I'd be silent. And then, it's those kinds of things. And Stoicism, I think, is good philosophy to take about how to deal with people. It is one of those beautiful things that, as you get older, you realize. And y'all were saying about this too. There's always some disaster waiting in our business or in our life, and we always go through it. Not without skin sometimes, but you learn to have faith in the Almighty Jehovah, and because He is we're His children, I believe, and He cares for us.
I think my favorite Stoic is Marcus Aurelius. And I think if you like quotes, I love quotes, inspirational quotes and everything. I post them every day on Facebook.
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius has some good quotes from the Stoicism philosophy.
Yeah, you should pick up on the one about getting up in the morning.
Yeah, that's what I'm still working on. I am not a morning person.
I'm sorry. Forgive me, Lord.
Well, maybe, Dave, she is doing something real spiritual. She's laying before the Lord,
Yeah, there you go.
with other people.
Sure. We can say whatever we want, Bob Dylan said you can't lie to God and yourself. There's the two people you can't lie to, the Almighty and yourself. And I believe that, and that. And I was, this week, a lot of on the UIWU executive text, there was a lot about the past, and some of Ross's initial correspondence with David Horowitz. And, I remember the Benai Noah in Athens and J. David Davis as being something that I was interested in. I just couldn't afford to go all the way to Athens, Tennessee then. And all these different, this peeling away, if you will, of the onion to get to the truth of Jehovah and the Almighty. My point is, at the end of the day, is that, I think we're getting pretty close. I don't know if Ross is going to surprise us with any more, news, but I'm joking, of course.
Well, I think the big story is going to be when we find that scroll.
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to do. That's for sure. The other thing is, I know that Ross, I don't know if he wants to speak because he tries to stay off. I know he's probably developing his talk for tomorrow or whatever. But Ross, that new place in Jackson is really beautiful. He showed us some pictures. I don't know if he shared them with the rest of everybody. Might be on Facebook, but
in person there at the UI meeting.
Yeah, he posted on Facebook.
We had to use our imagination to imagine it, and now it's exceeded our imagination.
I think it's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it's a really cool place.
Yeah, we're trying to move ahead with helping for that too, because it's really going to be a great savings, but also we want to continue to increase production quality and capability. You saw the new camera. Ross, I don't want to put Jono down, but man, you look much better than Jono on the with that new camera.
I think they both look great.
Dave, if I can share one other thing before I go.
Sure.
A few years ago, I sold my business.
Yeah.
The company I sold it to wanted me to come help them. Okay, and so I went to work with them part-time, which I love. I'm loving it. But the people there are some of them are different lifestyles. First, let me say that. Okay? But they all have such a loving spirit about them. Okay, and caring. But the whole thing about it is, and I got to relate to this thing, I felt this is the thing to do because maybe I could help.
Yeah.
Or God could do something through me. the reason I say that, a lot of times I've faced things in the past
Yeah.
that try to figure, is this the right thing to do?
Right.
Is this God's will? And I try to go with, what does it feel like? Am I at peace on the inside when I
Right.
make that decision? If I'm
Right.
at peace with that, I know this is the right thing to do. My daughter
Yeah.
today was looking at buying her a car, and she said, "Daddy," I'm sitting there trembling, like, I'm like, well, don't buy the car.
Uh-huh.
If you're so upset, don't buy it. If it feels right, buy it. If you don't. So I just want to relate that. Maybe somebody needs to hear this, but I know that when the spirit's flowing right, we're at peace.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I
Yeah.
think is correct. I'm not saying I can back that with scripture, but I'm
No.
from
I think,
70
yeah.
something years living, I've
Yeah.
learned that if I'm at peace and everything's flowing right,
Right.
it's like buying this house that we bought here, my wife and I. You
Yeah.
know, we found it one day, we bought it within 2 days.
Yeah.
Because we both felt right, this is the thing to do.
Yeah.
We settled within 10 days, the paper,
Yeah.
and everything just worked out. So,
Yeah.
understand that, when things flow, just like David, when you're talking and the
Yeah.
spirit's flowing through you, let her
Yeah.
rip, little Chip, let her go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we bought this home in October 1984, and it went smoothly until we found out all the problems that it had. But we kept putting in money into it and doing a lot of work ourselves, and now we have a beautiful place and it's paid for. Thank Almighty God. And it's good to have this beautiful room that was done by our friend who's a furniture maker, and he made a room that's like a piece of furniture, and all these grateful things. And then you also start realizing what else do you need? Why do I need any more?
Yes.
Why do I need any more rooms? Why do I need
More money, more material things.
I've learned is money is like fuel in the tank. If I got enough to get there, hey, I'm good. And I think as a young man, I think many young people start looking at money as like, I want to have this much money and I want to do well.
It's a status thing.
And it becomes a god unto itself, in my opinion. And it's like, the wealthiest people I know, and I know some wealthy people, all they worry about is their money. And I'm like, I don't want that.
It's just a tool to do things.
Yeah, it's fuel in the tank. And sometimes we have more and we do more for other people. Giving it away, I think, is extremely important.
Yes.
To the right groups and the right people. I don't give to people begging on the street because I think they're going to use it for drugs. I mean, that's my understanding. But to help, we have a shelter for battered,
for the needy.
The battered women. We have a shelter we've given to. We support the Rome food what's it called? Food bank. I mean, it's Christian run, but they're beautiful people, and they're helping feed people, and they have a great motto. I saw that motto. It's a hand up, not a handout, and I love that. And they take these young women and young men and get them into like nursing school or whatever, and they have a graduation every year, and so they don't want to be there feeding you for the rest of your life. Right. They want to give you some food and a little shelter when you're down,
and the tools to make your life better.
Right, and they're very good people, and so those things for me are what's important. Now you remember the Coles? Remember them?
Oh my God!
And Sherry Cole wants to speak there, brother Ronnie. Thank you, Ronnie.
Sherry Cole, hey!
I think she's getting on there.
Oh my gosh!
Let's see if she gets up there. Sherry C. Okay, I don't see her. Let me try it again. All right, let's see. Can we? I think you have to accept it, Sherry. I don't know, Ross, if you can give me some help with that.
Well, I know Dave ain't there.
It went back down, Ross. Sherry C.
Down at the side?
It's right here.
Oh.
But then when I hit her in, I think she had to hit the. Can't find the mic. Oh. She can't think the mic. I think she meant find. But anyways,
Where's the mic on the screen? Can you direct her towards it? On where it might be?
Shabbat Shalom from Jono, he's in Australia.
Good day, Jono.
He's the only one that. Okay, there she is. Hey, Sherry.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, good. Okay, back to Shabbat. I
Uh-huh.
have thoughts about it. You know, I haven't been observing Shabbat like religiously
Uh-huh.
or whatever, but what I do see about Shabbat and keeping it, it's not like obligation. You have to do it. It's
Mhm.
more like an opportunity.
Mhm.
And I disagree with Ronnie saying he was being too spiritual, because I don't think there's such a thing. And I think Shabbat is an opportunity, almost like there's a hyper spirituality window open, and you're
Yeah.
joined, and you're invited to partake of it.
Yeah. Well, no, I think Sherry. I think he was saying. I was saying I was too spiritual, and he's saying no, be spiritual.
Right.
So he was agreeing with you on that one, Sherry.
Yeah, I know. I'm just teasing Ronnie. He knows.
Hey, I gotta tell you, tell Dave. One of the last nights I was in Jerusalem, I went to the Gents Club, where we sat out there and outside in Jerusalem, and Patty fed the cats that were walking around, and
I fed the cats.
yeah, it was on Purim, my birthday, Hebrew birthday, and
Yeah.
we saw some unusual costumes. We're not gonna go.
Oh.
This is a
Oh,
G-rated show. We're not going to go into this costume. They take it seriously, the young people. And I just wanted to say, my last night I was in Jerusalem. Patty fell asleep, and I walked like a mile and a half, and I got to the Gents Club, and the Real Madrid was playing for the championship, and all these young Jewish Spanish people were there, and about 300 people out there, and it was just fun. I remembered you and Dave being there with
We
us.
had
And
some great times
Yeah.
with you guys there.
Yeah.
I hope we can do
That
it
was
again.
that was a great time, Dave. That was
Yeah. And then there was what sisters were there?
The Rosary
The
Sisters.
Rosary Sisters. We went by this house. It was in the old city too, and we went by this Catholic place, and it was called the Rosary Sisters, and we started singing. What song was we singing?
Rosary Sisters.
Buffalo Soldier.
Buffalo Soldier by Bob Marley.
So we're
Rosary Sisters. Oh, it was fun. It was fun. It was fun doing a little bit of that, and kill that cat. It's
And
gonna
then,
die.
and then remember, the sister opened the door
Oh yeah.
and like was scowling at us like, "What are you doing singing that song?"
What are you pagans doing here?
some good times. I hope we can do it again, Sherry.
Yeah, I miss Jerusalem. It's
It was-
definitely it was a privilege and an honor to get to go there.
Yeah, and we had some good times there.
Definitely.
And I remember digging at the dig in Mount Zion with Shimon, and he'd say, "Let's get cracking."
Yeah. And that
Yeah.
fence is still there, Sherry. The fence that Dave and Dave.
Yeah, the fence we kept
Oh,
for the people from falling in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dave was not happy about having to build that fence. Of course, it was 115 degrees, but other than that,
Yeah,
You know, and then
but he
Sherry,
wanted it done right.
we're at tomorrow, and anyone says, "Can anybody do drywall?"
yeah,
And me and Dave are looking at each other, and we're like, "Oh, yeah."
and
Good.
and nothing against the Polish people that were there. They were, but they did the electricity backwards.
Oh,
Anyways, but they were from the Bible students, or they were part of what would be the initial Watchtower Bible Society, but they're called something now, Bible something or other.
Oh, thumpers.
Bible study or Bible students, and that's Bible students. Ross corrected me. Yeah.
Thanks, Ross.
Yeah, and so they did a lot of work there. There were really beautiful people.
Yeah,
They were, we all did work on Tamar. It's in trouble right now because no one is going there, and they raise a lot of their money.
the tours aren't going.
The tours aren't coming, so but David Connolly is there, and I'm sure he's not up right now. But we had a great time talking to David Connolly, and you know, you don't know about a person until you sit down alone with them and on the holy porch of Dr. Tabor.
And it's 100 degrees, you're both sweating.
No, I mean, with night we drank out there in that porch, and I didn't know he was a Vietnam vet. And
I know, you learn so many things about people.
and what happened to him in Vietnam, which is between us right now. But and then how it changed his life, and I didn't know he had converted, and is now a citizen of Israel. So
wonderful.
Yeah, he really went whole hog on it, and
he got his driver's license.
Yeah, he got his Israeli driver's license.
Wow.
And Cody's asking, so Charles Taz Russell started the Watchtower Bible Society, and they became the Jehovah's Witnesses. But I can tell you this, Russell was kicked out of the group or left the group before it became the Jehovah's Witnesses. Mm-hmm. I read a lot about it. So our guy, David Horowitz, wrote a book about Charles Taz Russell. Charles Taz Russell went to speak to a group of Orthodox Jews on Long Island when they have a yearly convention, and he spoke on the name Jehovah. So it's really she says the founder got kicked out. It always happens that way. The founder gets kicked out of a lot of things. What does it say? A revolution eats its children, or revolution eats its. The people who start the revolution are the ones who get killed. It's that thing. And again, there are a lot of good things Jehovah's Witnesses that Charles Russell came up with, but they stop at a certain level and don't keep peeling the onion. We keep peeling the onion over here. In fact,
on the stepping stones for other people.
For other people, and when we're not peeling the onion over here, Jono's on the other side of the world peeling the onion. He doesn't stop. And my point is for me is that it's that relentless pursuit of truth and knowledge over your lifetime. And I think those are the important things that, as Einstein said, when you stop learning, you stop living. And I believe that's the case, that if we're not, digging into these books or the internet or having these discussions, we had great discussions at the annual meeting. And I was telling Ross, I'm hoping that we can have another meeting when he opens up Jackson.
Yeah, like a grand opening.
Grand opening, and some of us will be able to go down there and have another. I don't think it'll be as formal and as many speakers, but
let's make it formal.
Well, now you're bothering Ross, and he's trying to work.
So Sherry, how are you, Dave, doing? Do you have a garden this year?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
I'm very limited, Patty, because we travel so much. And if it's not here to water the plants, it's a problem. So I have a few container garden plants on the porch, and I'm harvesting the heck out of blueberries right now, which is great. They don't need much care, so
they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
But,
Sherry, are you on travel right now?
No. Dave's in the process of working on one of the cars, so we can tow it. So once we get that camper parked, we can go explore and have adventures and not tied to one spot. But the weather is kind of strange too with this tropical thing down in the Gulf. We have to watch the weather and try to plan that way. But are you guys having hot weather up there? I understand there's the Washington D.C. is like under a record heat and everything. It's
always a record. But And if you look back at the history of the earth, it's not a record, but
No, right.
let's not talk about truth. Let's not talk about truth here. But no, we had some really hot days, and with the high humidity, and
In the
you know,
90s.
in the 90s, in high humidity, 70-80%, and that's
It's your normal though, right, Sherry?
Oh yeah, that's normal down here. But
yeah. Well, I mean,
the
that's
older I
fine.
get, the harder it is to endure.
Yeah.
I do
I
like.
think it's because you're not used to it,
Right.
We're used to it here.
it's just not, I mean, if you came up here and it was 12 degrees Fahrenheit, you'd say, oh my God, it's cold. And we'd say, no, it's normal winter,
And Dave got to experience that, shoveling the snow on the deck. Dave
Yeah.
Cole.
Yeah, Dave Cole, he had a snowmobile ride too,
I
man.
know,
We got him on a snowmobile. He ran the snowblower. He learned about everything. Yeah. Miriam says most other states are just feeling what Texas has most of the year. Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, people make their choices on where they want to live.
Right. There's
and-
trade-offs everywhere you go.
I don't know if I'm sure a lot of people are old enough here. Remember that movie Endless Summer?
Yeah.
And that was my app just said it's the full moon, strawberry moon tonight.
Oh yeah, that's
Strawberry moon.
the
Strawberry moon tonight. That's
strawberries
beautiful.
are at their peak.
Yeah.
They're good. I wanted to say something to Libby. She was talking about
Oh,
thornberries and elderberries.
Yeah.
Libby, I am watching the elderberries. I make elderberry tincture and elderberry jam.
Ooh.
Very healthy, but there are so many elderberries growing wild in our area. I note, okay, I'm going there and I'm going there and I'm going there, but they're almost ready.
yeah. Yeah. You ever remember the Elton John song Elderberry Wine? Oh, I'm
Oh, yeah.
sorry. It's 2 seconds.
No,
for you
no.
people.
It's supposed to be nice.
Did you ever hear the song?
Yes, I've heard the
Okay,
song.
okay, yeah. I tend for grapes if I'm going to drink wine.
Yeah.
But it's just and there's a lot of different, depending on where you go in the world, there's a lot of different types of wines.
My first one was Boone's Farm Apple.
Oh,
Oh, right. Let's talk about
that's
that.
how I got her to marry me. That's how I got her to marry me. I was a step above having Merlot.
Oh my gosh. Boone's Farm Apple wine. Anyone else?
No, I'm sure. Some people don't drink, and I understand that. Yeah, I know. Being at the hotel in Bar Mitzvah, that a lot of Jews do drink. Clody likes Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah.
Me too.
Julia B says Boone's Farm. I remember that. And of course,
Showing her age.
yeah, and there's another one that ZZ Top did that song, Thunderbird. Have you heard what's the word? It's Thunderbird. Oh, God, that was absolutely horrible.
I never tried that one.
No.
I probably would have lived to 120 if I didn't drink so much of that shit.
Valley High was the worst. You get sick
Yeah.
on it. So sweet. Oh my goodness.
No, I know. I grew up with Manischewitz, so remember that.
Yeah.
That's sweet wine. It's kosher, but it's very sweet. Clody wants to talk.
They
Okay.
Thank you, Sherry.
What do I do? Do I just, you can hang me up or I gotta?
I think you just say leave the stage at the bottom. There you go.
Thanks, Sherry. Give out to Dave.
Yeah, Dave ain't there.
Dave ain't.
Strawberry Ripple.
Can you hear me
Hey, Clody.
without the echo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to. I just remembered a thing that I was talking even to my sister in Albania. I think that many of us get stuck in achieving things,
Uh-huh.
as in publishing, making studies, making whatever schools, universities, money, whatever the achievement is. Because this is a society that encourages the achievements.
Yeah.
This is not a society that encourages celebrating life.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed this conversation that you had with Sherry,
Yeah.
because this is really the point of being alive. Being alive is having a good time, celebrating life, helping people, loving God, being grateful, and opening the heart to that extent that we might enjoy our existence, even if we don't know what will happen next.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Every moment, Claudia.
Did Solomon say it's about keeping the commandments and having a good meal with your family? Or
Yeah. Working hard.
said that?
That's at the end of the book of Ecclesiastes.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah. This is the sum of it all is to work hard, love God, and have a good meal. And Ecclesiastes 12, he's saying.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's Ross.
Thanks, Ross.
Ross called us drunkards of Ephraim, but it's not. I don't. It feels good to have wine at the end of a long week like I've
I
had.
love Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Tonight,
Okay.
My
That was it.
if we want to get really, if we're going to be totally honest with y'all, we're having Snoop Dogg wine. It's called 19 Prisoners. And
it was a gift.
it was a gift. It's very good. I'm surprised. I don't know if there's a little THC in it, but it really does do. No, but I think the other thing that we forget is that what is past we cannot change, and what the future brings to us we do not know. And my point is that it's that moment you're living in right
the present moment.
and it's
I'm sorry, and that is the difference between having faith
right,
and not having faith.
right,
We are people that we believe in God.
yeah,
And when you believe in somebody, that you know 2 or 3 things about that person. Even
Yeah.
if you are not there, even if you don't know exactly how the things are going,
Right.
you are certain that your niece is not going to do that bad thing in your head. Or
Right.
you're certain that your father is going to find a solution with this problem.
Right,
Because
right.
you have faith and you trust them.
Yeah,
So I think that is all this discussion with lows and highs of being
Yeah.
uncertain economically is getting to celebrating life and loving God and
yeah,
being thankful and having faith in Him. Sometimes it gets tricky because sometimes we are uncertain and we are frightened.
yeah,
But I have a friend of mine. She is not a believer as in our way of believing God, but she believes a lot in God.
hmm,
And she was telling me that whenever we our fright gets big, God gets small inside
Yeah.
of us.
yeah,
So we have to keep the
Ego down.
frightening really really small, so
Right.
that God can be big in our soul.
yes,
Yeah.
That's a good point.
yeah. There's no doubt. It is very, very important that we recognize our place in the universe. And if you look at the beautiful sky at night and you realize some of those aren't stars, they're galaxies with hundreds of billions of stars in them.
The light from them.
You realize that light is 10 billion years old. It puts in perspective who you are. And that is, in one way, you're nothing in this universe, but in the other way, God created to make you. And I think that's about being grateful. That I think is an important thing. Even though we've suffered loss, we still want to be grateful.
And there's still joy to be had.
There's still joy to be had, and that is the lessons in life, that we're learning.
Now, Claudia, that's such a good point because sin is really about selfism.
Yeah.
And if you're all about the self, and the ego,
Yeah.
you know, that's large in you, then
Yeah.
like you said, that the presence of God is smaller.
No, yeah.
So we have to try to reduce that.
What Ross can maybe you people can. What are the 7 things that God hates?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, and there's a new. Well, wait. Before you try to,
Okay.
there's a new TV series that's coming out, and it's about the South and the police in the South, and the guy goes through the 7 things that God hates. One of them is gluttony, by the way.
Right,
and,
right.
and there's going to be this series on Netflix. I don't mean to pick
Oh
on
my
this.
gosh, it's a good
Yeah.
show.
And then one other thing that Libby said, strawberry wine. Well, Libby, I got to tell you a story about that
It's a
song.
good song.
It's a great song. She said the song,
Okay.
Deanna Carter.
Yeah, I love that song.
And I got to tell you, I knew some of the people that we worked with in Nashville that worked on that album, and she said, I do not want that song put out, and they said, we're putting this song out first, and it got to #1 in country charts in 3 weeks. And then she said, "Oh my God, that now I got to say." So we went to see her, remember, at the
Yeah,
Turning
it was
Stone,
awesome.
and she threw me a pick. I still have it. What an incredible singer, and she did a lot of other good songs too. So,
Yeah.
and Eric is going with the One Toke Over the Line.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That song.
Oh yeah. With those songs for those days, they were so big.
I had no idea what that meant at the time.
Oh, stop.
I didn't.
Please.
Yeah.
You were from the south side of Chicago.
I didn't know what it meant. I really didn't.
No, anyways, I'm grateful that everyone showed up here tonight.
Yes, thank you. So good to see all of you.
Yeah, she's really blonde. It's sunk in anyways in there. And Dave, she still might have not known. Yeah. I don't know. When you I don't know what you all did, but when you work in the military and you work in mills, you learn a lot of things quickly. Not in a good way, unfortunately. It's in a bad way. But anyways, I don't mean to pick on anybody, but Jono, would you like to just say hello and tell us what's going on down under, or you just want to listen tonight? I know Ross doesn't want to talk because he's always on.
He has to talk tomorrow.
Yeah, and we can't afford him. He's a radio personality. He's a TV personality.
Stop. That's not true.
Look at that way that new camera, Ross. I cannot tell you how good that looks. And I don't mean to put Jono down, but Jono looked a little foggy compared to you.
Oh my God. That's not true. They both looked amazing.
Well, Jono's not talking, so he's probably really upset with us now.
No, he's not. No. Okay.
No, I tell you what, Seth, another Seth idea, and it was really beautiful. And I can only tell you that you are, you that's another step towards the Jack Van Impe millions that are going to be coming in. Nikita's going to speak, and we know when she speaks, it's always interesting. My brother talked about you last week, Nikita. How are you? Shabbat Shalom. Let me see here. We're not hearing her yet. I'm Nikita. All right.
Peachy.
Yeah. Libby said lyrics can be good sermons sometimes and touch folks in a way the preacher can't, and they don't need to be religious lyrics all the time. Religious lyrics, of course, but sometimes they only are.
Well, in the One Toke Over the Line, they did say "Sweet Jesus."
Yeah,
so.
That's true. I know. I'm
That's
not
a religious song now, right?
Yeah. Nikita, we're not hearing you, hon. I'm sorry. I know you have such a powerful and beautiful voice. My brother commented about how beautiful your voice is, Nikita. I'm not hearing her. Shoot, Nikita.
Charles Sutton wants to say hi to everybody here on Discord. And we want to say hi to all of our YouTube friends here, too.
Yeah, the YouTube people are there.
Yes. Oh.
All right. You're back again, Nikita. Are we going to hear you? I'm sorry.
It's the ever elusive microphone button.
Yeah, it's all that, I wanted to ask people.
I think she's gonna. I think I saw some go up.
It's the headphone problem.
Oh wait, yeah, it just went.
Nikita?
It left again.
All right. My mic is suppressed.
Aw.
Jono, why would your mic be suppressed? I don't know. This is something we'll have to get we'll have to get better at it. Seth's not here tonight, so
But if there's something you can type, Nikita, we can read it to everybody.
Yeah, Jono too.
If you want to say something.
Jono says his mic is suppressed too.
He was suppressed at one point.
Yeah.
I'm now unsuppressed.
Yeah. All right. Nikita's trying. I do try to select songs sometimes with good message. How's that? I agree, Libby. And they're not all good, I don't I was listening to maybe Jono has to raise his hand first. Maybe you should raise your hand, Jono. That's a very good point. Jono's raising his hand. We're inviting him to speak.
Did it work?
Jono.
Okay.
Now you know.
So you can hear me? Oh,
yes.
Sweet.
All the way from around the world, we can hear you.
Yeah. Tell
You're
you what,
about
I need
as
some more
far away
coffee.
from us as you could get. If I could fly, the furthest I could fly without starting to come back, because I do believe the world is round. It's a globe. I'm sorry.
I'm with you there, Dave.
Forgive me. That would be after I pass over your house, I'd start coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after you pass by my place and then you pass Tasmania.
Yeah.
Now, let me turn my headphones on here.
And I want to say one thing. Another song I heard on the way home, Marianne, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, Your Precious Love. And I was thinking of my wife when I heard that song. You got to listen to that song if you haven't heard it. Your Precious Love by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell.
Oh, how's it going, Jono?
Yeah. Hey, Patty.
Hey.
Here I am on the microphone. What are we talking about, boys and girls?
Or just anything that it was about your week.
My week.
Yeah, your week.
I have been deep in the Moses Scroll at the library. And it has been really good. And the head of Old Testament, the lecturer there, got into a conversation with me the other day on the topic, and he got very curious about it and asked if I had a copy. So I happened to have a copy of Ross's book in my briefcase, and I said, "Well, look at that. Here, take this with you." And he said, "Oh, good."
I always have a copy. If you can't reach your copy of the Moses Scroll this quickly, you're not really that interested in it.
Oh, come on. Ash was buried in those for a while. We got more.
That's the hardback. I mean, I got the paperback. We gave more of them away than you can. Okay, what are you going to say, John?
I had the paperback. No, I was just going to say it's going to be interesting to see if he catches the bug, if he reads it over the weekend, and we may have more interesting conversations next week. So,
the one thing I would say is that not only, we're really blessed in this group. James Tabor is a great writer. He just can write well. And Ross, I think, is he can write well.
Right behind him.
Betty wrote well. I'm afraid to ever produce anything. Rolf Bunton wrote well. So I really am worried that I'm not going to be that close to them, their level of writing. But it's really brilliant writing that Ross did. Not only the facts, but you have to present them in a way that's compelling and interesting. And it's,
Jonah, are you working on a book?
He better be.
I'm working on a paper at the moment, and I'm having to your point, Dave, I'm having to reacquaint myself with all of the, how to properly format the footnotes and all that sort of stuff, because I haven't done that since I was in college. And It's tedious, but the lecturer, his name is Stephen Lewis, is helping me through that a little bit. So is Alistair, whom I've mentioned before. So it's good to have those guys on it. But I'm working on a paper at the moment in regards to, and you and I have discussed this before, the division of tribes on Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim.
Yeah, I know. I was supposed to do more. I just been busier than one arm wallpaper.
Oh, you've been flat out. But it's only anyway. It is a fascinating topic, and it will probably keep me pretty busy for the coming weeks as well.
Well, if you can send me anything in a document form or whatever, I would love to support anything you're doing. And even though I don't use it, my graduate degree is in theoretical computer science, and it's really math. I can't even program Excel. I can't even run Outlook, really. But if it's talking about number theory, if you're talking about number theory, probability statistics, those abstract
probability is actually where I'm up to. So you'll enjoy this. I will give you the draft.
It would be great. It would be great, and I have other people I can send it to too. So, anyways. Yeah.
I'm pretty rough with it.
Let's say hello to Anna for us.
I will. She just brought me a coffee. She's a champ.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
We were up late last night. We were watching the footy because our team was playing last night and they lost.
What football? Were you watching football?
Footy, AFL. Yeah, yep.
Oh,
AFL.
okay.
Kind of like nothing like your football. It's kind of on a much.
We call soccer, but I was at the gents club. It's not a gentleman's club. It's a club in Jerusalem, and Real Madrid was playing. Forgot for the final of that league, and I'm telling you, those people they get excited. Anyways,
soccer. That's soccer. What we call soccer over here. Yeah.
You call it soccer.
Yeah, so that's a different. That's it. So we call that soccer, but AFL, which is Australian football, is on a massive. It's on a cricket. You play it on a cricket pitch, like it's huge.
It's a bizarre
and
game.
There's 18 aside, and
yeah.
It's just massive. They had 80,000 at the game last night, and anyway, but we lost. So
all right, I'm sorry.
That's the end. That's the end of that conversation.
Well, I do need to call you, Jono, but we'll talk. And I'm going to get Nikita up here again. She wants to speak.
She's trying.
There you go, Nikita. We'll catch up, Dave. We've got to catch up, right, mate?
Right.
Thanks.
Shabbat shalom. Bye.
Shabbat shalom.
I hit Nikita. Come on, Nikita, hit us.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, Nikita. There's no mistaking that voice.
Thank you. How's everyone? How's the congregation of the Most High?
We're grateful that it's Shabbat and we're here, and we're grateful that you're talking.
Well, thank you. I wanted to say something about the 10 Commandments law being passed in Louisiana.
Okay.
Early in the week, I was talking to a new acquaintance who just so happens to be a Noahide. And she was trying to convince me rather, that it might be better to be a Noahide than to be what I consider myself to be, which is Torah obedient, to not observe it. And the best way, I was trying to figure out a way to explain it to her, to where she could understand it. And I closed the conversation out because sometimes I don't want to speak in and of myself without consulting the Most High, because I don't want to be blamed for anything. And two, he always gives the best information. So driving to work, I'm listening to the radio, and I do a lot of 70s, 80s music. Stuff that's not as horrible as what they play today.
Yeah. Amen.
And there was a song by Andy Gibb that was called Everlasting Love.
Oh, okay.
There's a line in the song that says, if it's the pleasure of taking your heart that you need, then it only makes me love you more.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So I spoke to this person again, and I said, the reason why I'm Torah obedient, not all of the laws apply to me being a female, and I'm not a priest. So all those laws don't apply.
Amen.
But if I'm only doing 7 out of the ones that the Lord said do apply to me, then
Yeah.
I'm the one who's losing out on the pleasure.
Amen.
I mean, when I'm obedient to the Most High, it makes me glow from the inside out, because I know that everything he said is for my benefit, as far as leading and living a productive life of righteousness. And righteousness is more life to my soul, which feeds my body.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they say stress is the silent killer?
Yeah.
Well, stress is all mental.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing that which gives the Most High pleasure, he in turn gives me pleasure, which feeds the dopamine, gives me strength. It's like how in the 70s we had, what was the name of the show? The Incredible Hulk. How Bill Bixby would just, go out, get green and do things. Well, we get strength from the righteousness, which is from the tree of life that the Most High gives us.
Yeah.
So why would I limit myself to 7 when I can live and breathe every day all of the righteousness that he would allow me to have?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she understood that better. And I said, well, here's another analogy. So, and this will be the last one. And she said, no, keep going. I said, no, because that's all I got from him. Anything else would be me adding to it, and I will not do that. It's like going on a honeymoon with the officiant instead of your spouse. And the officiant comes back and tells you, oh, wow, we had a great time.
Yeah, man.
He's kissing your spouse for you and then telling you how good it is. No. Why would I want you in the middle of my relationship with the Most High?
Right.
I want that from him to me and from me to him.
I mean, that is the basis of it, Nikita. I say one other thing, if you can see the screen. God gave us 10, he gave us 10 matters and 10 fingers. I don't think that's a mistake.
It's not. But for you to give another person, because I don't know if her sect of Noahide is different from anyone else's, but they do follow a lot of rabbis and what the rabbis tell them to do. So I'm like, you're no different than the Christians, because why do you have someone else in your relationship with the Most High?
Exactly.
That was my thing. It's not fulfilling if it has an intermediary. If it has a mediator, the Most High gave you a mind with the ability to reason. So it's like, if something goes right, do you get to blame the rabbi or whatever mediator you have pulled into your relationship?
Amen. And another thing I'd say, Nikita, is that the Most High wrote these in stone. If he could write the 10 matters in stone, then they must be important to us.
Yeah, they're written in stone, and then everything else is in a category from those 10 matters.
Exactly.
So all the other 6, 13, or whatever the number may be, those will fit neatly into one of the 10.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't, and then another thing I said, now you have got to remember the foundation or the basis of why the elders existed. So when Jethro told Moses, you're going to burn yourself out, you need someone to, a couple of people over the 10s, over the 100s, over the 1000s.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I said, and I asked her, I said, well, now why were they in place? And she said, well, because if the people had any conflict or matters, instead of coming to Moses would just take care of the hard matters.
Right.
They could go to the other people who would help them get through that. I said, okay, perfect. I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
So any issue I have, I go to the Most High first.
Amen.
Okay, if I still can't solve it, or if I still don't feel like he wants me to share it with someone to get someone else's counsel, I'll do that. But to go to men first and go to the Most High secondarily means that who are you worshiping more?
Yeah.
And if that whole judgment day comes up, which I don't give a lot of credence to, because whenever you do something, the judgment on that matter automatically kicks into place.
Yeah.
It's not a day appointed to where it's going to be like a big old court session. Yeah. Ask David, he'll tell you. David was just like, as soon as what he did was wrong, and when Nathan said, "Thou art the man," everything was already in motion for his repentance.
Yeah. And speaking of that, he told Nathan, I got other judges, go talk to them. And Nathan said, I need to talk to you about this one.
Exactly.
Send
Yeah, 'cause-
everybody. And,
yeah,
you know,
it's between you and the Most High.
right. And,
So I mean, I think she heard me a little bit, but to me, if you want a mediator, it's because you want someone to share in your
Right.
in what you've done that was wrong, so you have someone to blame and things go awry.
I only pray to the Most High. I don't pray to anyone else. I don't pray through anyone else. I feel that this Creator has invited us to have a relationship with Him, and He gave us a way to live on this earth. And He's only showing us love. I mean, the fact that we're even created, you know, we were talking about that earlier tonight. The fact that we're even created,
That he thought of us.
that He thought of us is such a blessing. Even as hard as our lives are, this is a beautiful thing. This life, and to look up and to into the heavens and look at the wonders of His creation. He is the Most High, and there's no one beside Him. And so I go straight to Him. Anyway.
Yes.
Charles Sutton says Nikita and Ronnie are singing in the same song. It's happy and smooth in his presence.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you,
All right.
Charles.
Yeah,
Amen.
that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. But I just wanted to share that with you, that it's pleasurable to do things that please the Most High, and to live based solely on what He says to do, because it not only does it benefit me just to be obedient, but it gives me a joy that's completely unexplainable. And unless you're living a life of obedience, I'm not looking over my shoulder at some repentance or some karma to come and get me, because everything I seek and I try to do, I'm doing it to please Him.
Yeah.
So when it rains, it fertilizes my soul. When the sun shines and it's hot, it reminds me to appreciate the rain and the cool days. It's just endless.
Yeah.
It's endless joy. And I just wanted to share that on Shabbat with you all.
Thank
I
you so
pray
much.
that you all have a restful one and a grateful one.
Thank you, Nikita. We love you, sister. Please, we love that you come and listen to us.
Thank you.
We thank you so much.
Thank you too. Y'all have a great one now.
Yeah. All right. Marianne said, this reminds me of the assembly at the mountain where they didn't want to hear Elohim. They told Moses, you go talk to him.
Right.
And I wasn't there, so I can't.
We don't want to say that we would want to hear. But
We don't know if we heard that thunder,
we
you
might
know.
be afraid too. But we don't want to think
It was like last week when we wanted to go into Gaza till we heard the bombs going off.
oh my gosh, I know.
It's a little, and they said, don't worry, if the sound of the bombs change, then we're going to go hide.
Right.
Well, anyways, and we're gonna back off. It is one of those beautiful things where it's been a long week, and I'm going to be really honest. Lord Stanley's Cup is in the building tonight, and the Florida Panthers could win the Stanley Cup, and I played hockey my whole life, so I'll be watching the end of that game. And Ross wants to remind us, what is manna? I thought he said, what is mama? I can't see too good here. Who's your mama? No, I didn't. The class tomorrow, 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern. And we'll be back again. Everybody, thank you all so much. God bless you. Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow at the class. Love all of you. Thank you for talking. And we love you all. Bye-bye.